Okay, we're recording.
Okay, you're all set anytime.
And thank you, Steve. Today is a meeting of the Board of Public Works. It's being done remotely under the governor's executive order pursuant to the open meeting law. It'll be posted tomorrow, and anyone who wants to watch can do so online through the city's website or Focus, the Springfield, and then you can comment by way of email, voicemail, or regular mail. This meeting will be continued to July 8th when everything will be reviewed and voted on at that time. I'll turn the meeting over to the chair.
This meeting of the Board of Public Works. I'm John Fitzgerald, chairman of the Board of Public Works. Also present, Buddy Macy is a member, Mike Triggs a member, Hector Velez, the engineer for the board, and city solicitor Ed Pakula.
Can everyone hear everything?
Okay.
Keep your voice up, please.
All right. First matter will be petition number 14, capital asset at DeBerry Park to discontinue a portion of Wilbraham Avenue to relocate the existing part of DeBerry School to a new location near Springfield College, near the intersection of Wilbraham Avenue and King Street.
We're on.
You're on.
We're gonna do Peter first. Peter, I guess. That's what he called. He's the chair.
So we're looking for a it's us going, right? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Are you ready for the Wilbraham Ave?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so we're looking for I don't know what material you have in front of you, but we're looking for discontinuation of Wilbraham Avenue to put a new park in. It's part of the Article 97 that we received from the governors to transfer parkland from the existing DeBerry Park over to the new DeBerry Park. And we incorporated Wilbraham Ave in the design, and we went through DPW for our guidance on how to get everything done. So we'd like authorization to do a decontinuation of Wilbraham Avenue. Do you have the paperwork in front of you, or?
I think so. I left that on the office because I don't see it here.
Hey, Pete, is that the whole street?
It's just part of the street.
Peter, I have a couple slides. If I'm able to share them, it might be useful if folks want to look at an aerial view.
Please.
Yes.
I think Stephen would have to give me permission to let me share the screen.
Mr. Carey, can you do that?
You should have screen sharing available. Did you click on it?
Let me see here. Let me do that.
At the bottom?
Down at the bottom, there's a green arrow that says share screen. There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let me improve this just a little bit more for you. Okay, are folks able to see that?
Yes.
Okay, Peter, I don't know if you want to do this jointly, if you want me to just kind of give an overview of what the project is.
Dive right in there.
Sure. So the DeBerry School is sort of up here to the north and west, and the project originated with the desire to expand this school. And in order to do that and build a new school, this park would be displaced. So the project originated with the idea of creating a new park in the vicinity that the neighborhoods could use. And that location was settled on in this area down here. I'll show you in a minute. And the way to create a park with enough footprint to replicate this park was the discontinuance of Wilbraham Avenue. So in order to go through that process, and this is a zoom in of the project area, the concept was to create a small parking lot off of King Street. That's about 16 cars. Create a cul-de-sac here at the end of the new end of Wilbraham Avenue, so folks could come in and turn around, and a small parking area here to accommodate folks that are coming into the park from the north side. So sorry, just to kind of flip you sideways, but this is a view of the park as it's been approved. The cul-de-sac area here on Wilbraham, residential houses to the east. This is the basketball court and the parking lot I mentioned. And what comes out of this is a multi-purpose field suitable for soccer. Could be some softball or other activities. There's a fitness trail around the perimeter, walking paths. There's a small pavilion and a playground for 2 different age groups here tucked into the corner. All in all, you end up with about nearly 4 acres of green space as part of this project. What it looks like today is this is Wilbraham Ave, looking kind of north, looking across to the east. This required coordination with Springfield College and basically turning this parking lot into park. The street would be discontinued pending your approval. And then this land here to the west would be consolidated as well as part of the park. Here's just another view in plan. You can see Wilbraham running down the middle. This is the Springfield College side, and this is the side to the west that gets consolidated into one footprint. So again, these are kind of the highlights of what we're trying to accomplish here. The park to offset the park over at the school. These are the elements planned, including the parking lots on either end and new drainage throughout. The concept for it looks like this. You can see the cul-de-sac dropped in, the trail network, and essentially, there's a detail of the cul-de-sac. Essentially, the plan is to leave the utilities that run through the park in place. They're currently in the street. So the project would discontinue about 600 feet of Wilbraham. It would take out the lights. It would relocate some hydrants. It would take out the curbing. We would plug and abandon some catch basins. It requires adjusting and moving some covers and frames around. And then the utilities would be maintained in place. And the set of improvements, let's see, go back one. I guess the set of improvements just would involve probably, I think we're in the vicinity of 20 new drainage structures and tie-ins to drain the parking lot, the cul-de-sac, and the parking lot at this end, and pick up drainage off of the field. So that's kind of an overview, and that's why the discontinuance of the street through this section is a topic for today in order to have the park that's been envisioned and permitted.
And we had probably 7 community meetings. We had a great response. There were a lot of people at the different meetings. We had a meeting at St. John's Church, a meeting at DeBerry School, a meeting at Homer Street School, a meeting at the Catherine Street School, Old Hill. We had neighborhood meetings, and this is the concept that the community supported.
Can you mention that the street is one way, in the future we're gonna do the process for 2-way? Yeah,
right now this is what we got from the community. This is a cut through to Mass Mutual. It's the way they tried to slow everything down was to make it one way going to the left of the paper, I guess is the best way to say it, to the north. So it would be 2-way from Wilbraham Avenue out to State Street.
You want me to go maybe the next one? Yeah, lets people see it.
Part of the master plan for this area too is the demolition of MCDI. We're going to, this is probably too much information, but at least you have it. Demolition of MCDI, so that will have an opportunity to go out for an RFP at some date when we get it down. So it's just the beginning of cleaning up this area. The abutters were all in favor of it because there's a lot of speeding that goes down this. A lot of activity at night as well, drag racing and stuff, I guess. So there was a lot of support for this.
Thank you.
Yeah, you say that the tip is going in that area, they're not going to have a new easement.
Utilities?
Yeah, utilities.
The utilities would stay in place.
Okay.
Have the utilities been approved
I'm having a problem hearing, so.
I had a question regarding the utilities are staying in place. Have they been evaluated as to their condition?
They have, the gas company just put the gas line in some years ago. We're gonna, when we're doing these updates, Springfield Water and Sewer is gonna be looking at their equipment. The gas company is going to be doing additional work. They're gonna be plating over their gas line to make sure there's no interference with their systems. So we've reached out to all the Eversource, Columbia Gas, Springfield Water and Sewer, and Eversource. I think I said Eversource twice.
All right, thank you.
So this is Joe from Comcast. We do have an easement. Well, I should say we have a cable going from like 184, 182 Northampton Avenue to the pole line that runs between Wilbraham Ave and Northampton Ave. So I don't know. I can't really see in the print that I have. Unfortunately, I don't have my computer with me, but I just have the prints. I don't know how far up you're going to go and how much ground disturbing you're going to do if that underground utility feed is going to be in the way. Could we get an easement from the city? I guess the city's going to own that property. We would need an updated easement and a new pipe installed.
Eric, can you go to the photo of the street? I just don't remember anything crossing that area.
Yeah, I guess I would need a better description of where off of Northampton that comes through. Does that cross through the Springfield College parking lot?
No, it comes from between house 182 and 184 Northampton Avenue. And it goes to it's the fourth pole from King Street headed north in the easement is where we rise up. And we feed all the houses on Wilbraham Ave and Northampton Avenue, obviously on the even side of Northampton Avenue and the odd side of Wilbraham Avenue.
If you could send me an email, we certainly would accommodate if we're taking care of disturbing any of your equipment.
Yeah, I can do that. I don't know if I have your email, but I can send you like a base routing. It's not engineered drawings, but it'll give you an idea of where we're coming from and going to. And if we have to, we can meet on site.
It's pgarvey@springfieldcityhall.com. Nice short one for you.
182 Wilbraham Avenue looks like it's right near the intersection of King Street, if that's helpful.
Yeah, Joseph, I wanted to mention that I think, Peter, we're set up for a meeting next week on site, aren't we?
Yeah, on Wednesday, I believe.
Yeah, so that might be a good time.
The 24th at 9 o'clock or 9:30, whatever time, I guess. But send me an email so I have your contact information and we'll make sure you're accommodated.
All right, so it's pgarvey@cityhall.org.
pgarvey@springfieldcityhall.com.
Oh, all right. Got it, Pete. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions for the board?
Any other questions?
No.
No, thank you. I think we're all set. We'll take the matter under advisement. Thank you.
Is that an approval or is there another meeting that we need to attend? I'm not quite sure what's going on.
You gotta come back. This matter is gonna be continued to July 8th.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Next matter will be number 4, Verizon, Open Street, to install 2 4-inch conduits on Open Street for distribution of telecommunications. Verizon, you're on. You hear me?
Good afternoon, everybody.
Open Street.
Oakland Street? Okay. Verizon requests permission to lay and maintain underground conduits and manholes with the wires and cables to be placed therein under the surface of the following public way. Oakland Street, Verizon is to place two 4-inch conduits on Oakland Street beginning at manhole 5163A, located at the intersection of Oakland Street and Belmont Street, running in a northerly direction, a distance approximately 69 feet to a point, and then continuing east a distance of approximately 14 feet to pole 6, located on the east side of Oakland Street. Does anyone have any questions?
You said that was 1,600 feet?
No, it's 69 feet, 69 feet north from the intersection, and then 14 feet east.
Gotcha, given a diagram.
Yeah, it's going to the closest pole to the intersection.
Any questions from the board?
Just, another question, when will that work start? After the vote, do you have an estimate?
I don't have any dates. I can ask Verizon to email you specifics if you want.
In the near future?
Yes.
So, right here in the drawings, look like the conduit is very close to the sewer. Try to be 4 feet from the sewer.
4 feet from the sewer?
Yeah, at least.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Good.
Okay, thank you, matter we take under advisement. Next matter, a petition from Verizon for Washington Road to install two 4-inch conduits on Washington Road for distribution of telecommunications.
Verizon requests permission to lay and maintain underground conduits and manholes with the wires and cable to be placed herein under the surface of the following public way. Washington Road. Verizon is to place two 4-inch conduits on Washington Road beginning at pole B11, located on the west side of Washington Road, running in a southerly direction, a distance of approximately 65 feet to a point, with said conduit to intersect with conduit running along the north side of Sumner Avenue. I'd be happy to answer any questions at this point.
Looks simple. Yeah.
I have no further question. Hector, Redmond?
I just have a comment here that you have the conduit on the tree belt.
I'm sorry?
You have the conduit on the tree belt.
The conduit on, I'm sorry, what was that again?
On the tree belt. It's not on the street, right? Or
Oh yeah, it's in the grass along the road, not in the street.
yeah, I have to call you back of this one. I have to figure out with parts because they have a plan to put some trees on the tree belt. I don't know that one. This is a one area, but I'll let you know.
Okay.
No further questions? No, take that under advisement. Next, petition for Verizon from Lombard Street to install 2 4-inch conduits on Lombard Street for distribution of telecommunications. Bob?
Verizon requests permission to lay and maintain underground conduits and manholes with the wires and cables to be placed therein under the surface of the following public way. Lombard Street. Place 2 4-inch conduits on Lombard Street beginning at manhole 5259C, located at the intersection of Lombard and Main Street, and running in a southwesterly direction, a distance of approximately 95 feet to the pole T4, located on the northwesterly side of Lombard Street.
Yeah. 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 Fine. Thank you.
Any questions?
I understand what you're saying. Approximately Street or longer?
Any questions for the board?
No, I have none.
Done.
Hector?
No,
Right, take the matter under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Bob.
Thank you.
Next matter is petition number 7, Comcast. Comcast here?
yes.
Yeah, sorry. Joe's here.
Okay, Joe, this petition for Madison Avenue to install and maintain 328 feet of 4-inch PVC conduit with fiber optic and glass cable line on Madison Ave from Comcast vault to the service on 38 Madison Avenue. Go ahead.
That is correct. Yes, we have an existing vault just kind of south of 19 Madison Avenue. We propose to run parallel to Eversource up to in front of 38 Madison Avenue, which is approximately 328 feet. Would all be in the street. I would install a new vault in the sidewalk in front of 38 Madison Ave, and then continue with a 2-inch pipe to the right front corner of house number 38.
Joe, 38 is a house or it's a business?
No, it's a house. What it is, Hector, is we have that house 38 has a existing aerial line that goes through an easement, which is an aerial trespass that was attached to a tree. The homeowner that owned the tree wanted to cut the tree down, and we were using that tree to support the Comcast service. So once the tree is removed, we have no way of servicing house 38 without doing all this work.
No trees involved.
Not a cheap line at all. I wonder what his monthly fee's gonna be.
Any questions? Buddy?
No.
Second? All right, thank you. We'll take the matter under advisement.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. Have a great evening.
Stay safe.
Anyway. Next matter are Columbia Gas. Columbia Gas here.
Richard, yeah.
Richard.
Hello, how's it going? Can you guys hear me?
So July 8th,
What?
whatever matter you just heard,
Everything will be July 8th.
okay, tell everybody that. Make sure you tell them.
Columbia Gas.
You really should take a vote on it, you know, approve the continuance, but if you tell on it, that's good enough for me.
We'll find with it.
Petition from the High Street to introduce natural gas facilities to the area in order to provide a service to a commercial customer at 304, 306 Union Street. You're on, Richard.
All right, so it's a pretty relatively short project near the intersection of School Street and High Street. It's a new business related project in order to increase the gas pressure such that we could serve a new customer. It involves the installation of 20 feet of plastic and coated steel gas main operating at low pressure.
I thought we had addressed this earlier. I remember being at High and School Street, but maybe I was wrong.
Yeah, we went there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went there, but
No
there's
one
no
was there?
show up.
Oh, okay, all right.
That
Yeah,
was
we
my
were-
signal. No show up.
Any questions,
I have none.
buddy?
No, I'm fine with it.
Okay.
No, I'm good. I remember these ones.
All right, we'll take the matter under advisement until July 8th.
Okay.
Next matter is petition from Columbia Gas for Florida Street to install underground gas facilities on Florida Street, Bay Street, Worthington Street, and St. James Avenue to introduce medium pressure and retire low pressure cast iron main. Florida Street, Richard.
All right, so Florida Street, this project is being done related to a city paving project on Florida. Project scope is on Florida Street between Ingersoll Grove south to Bay Street and continuing on to Bay Street. Total project length is 2,662 feet. And it's a cast iron low pressure replacement project. We're going to be installing new high-density plastic main operating at medium pressure. Associated with the main replacement, we're going to be doing all the services as well.
Any questions?
Richard, this is the one of the DPW paving project?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Any question, Hector?
Is all, at least, gas lines, for this year, work to be done this year? In the near future?
Honestly, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get to it this year, but certainly the city has called for it to be paved within the near future, so we'll certainly be keeping up with their schedule as we can.
Everything would not be done in accordance with the pavement, I would assume, right?
Yeah, certainly would be done before the paving.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you. We'll take the matter under advisement until July 8th. Next matter, petition from Columbia Gas, Fenwick Street, to install and replace underground gas facilities in a section of Upper Hill neighborhood on Fenwick Street, Bonneview Street, Keenan Street, Crest Street, Highland Street, and Brook Street to introduce medium pressure and retire low pressure cast iron main. Rich.
All right, so very similar to the Florida Street project. Again, it's a DPW paving project that's been identified. Again, cast iron low pressure being replaced for brand new high density plastic operating at medium pressure, and as well as all of the services. Very similar.
What's that one?
Fenwick Street.
Oh, that's a paving, DPW paving too. Okay.
Yep.
You have the plan showing up?
I don't have the plan here. I just have this one.
All right.
This is one that we are coordinating with Columbia Gas to pay to replace the gas item before.
Before paving, yeah, okay.
Any questions on Fenwick Street? Board?
Not for me.
No.
All right, we'll take this matter under advisement until July 8th. Next matter, petition from Columbia Gas for Ellsworth Avenue to install and replace underground gas facilities within a section of East Forest Park neighborhood on Sumner Avenue, Allen Street, Gifford Street, Clove Street, and Orpheum Avenue to introduce medium pressure and retire low pressure cast iron main. Ellsworth Avenue.
All right, so again, this is going to be a low pressure replacement project, replacing the cast iron main for plastic medium pressure main. This project, however, is being done due to an operational need. It was noticed that we have some above average leakage occurring on this street, so it's just prudent to get this one replaced.
This one is that you have to replace the cast iron, or?
Correct. Yep.
Okay. Because I don't have the drawings here.
Do you? I can get these drawings to you, Hector. Did you say you didn't have the Fenwick one as well?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
I'll get both of these to you.
Any questions about Ellsworth Avenue from the board?
I have none.
No, not, thank you.
Hector?
Nope.
All right, thank you. We'll take this matter under advisement until July 8th. Next matter is petition from Columbia Gas on Plainfield Street to install underground gas facilities at the intersection of Plainfield Street and Division Street for the new construction of Brightwood School. Plainfield.
Yep, so this project is a new business-related project, installing 880 feet of 4-inch plastic medium pressure gas main, going from approximately Newland Street north to our tie-in location at Division Street. And again, it's going to serve the new Brightwood School at 321 Plainfield Street, along with the service line to that structure as well.
I don't have the drawing here, but I saw it. This one is there's a new service for the new school in Springfield.
Yep.
They're gonna cross. Rich, you don't have you have something there, right? Or you abandoned that one?
We do have a gas main existing in that area, but unfortunately it's low pressure. So this new main is going to have just the capacity that school needs.
Okay.
Higher capacity than the existing low pressure.
Okay. Any questions? Plainfield, new school?
But that's true, no.
Hector, you're all set?
I'm set.
All right, we'll take that matter under advisement till July 8th also. Next matter, petition from Columbia Gas for Rush Street to install and replace underground gas facilities in a section of Pine Point neighborhood on Berkshire Avenue and Rush Street to introduce medium pressure and retire low pressure cast iron main. Richard, Rush Street.
So Rush Street, again, it's a DPW paving project. A little bit different on this project. We're going a little bit longer of a project scope just so we can pick up the medium pressure at the intersection of Harvey and Berkshire. Rush Street is relatively short, but the install length on this project is a total of 2,500 feet. We just want to make sure that we get that medium pressure coming down south on Berkshire Ave, and it'll allow us to do some future replacements in that neighborhood of Rush Street and Rollins coming up here within the next 10 or so years. So.
Any questions on Rush Street?
No, there's a section that is out of the paving, you say?
Yes, yep. The section of main we're installing on Berkshire Ave.
Okay.
And we're also installing a length of pipe on Hobson, as well as some stubs. And then, of course, we're also installing the pipe on Rush Street. So, yeah, there's quite a bit that's actually not under the scope of paving. But in this case, it just makes sense to get that medium pressure expanded down on Berkshire Ave.
Okay.
Any further questions? I'm good. I'm going to take that matter also under advisement until July 8th meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. And Hector, I'll get those drawings over to you right now.
Okay, thank you. Maybe I have it out of the office, but.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. I'll just shoot them over to you.
Nobody from Eversource?
Anybody from Eversource?
No one from Verizon.
11 out of 40.
And most of the, I have 3 from Eversource, and they are rescheduled. We already been there.
Yes.
They've already.
We were out there and they, yeah.
Yeah, there's a no show up from Eversource.
Yeah.
The 3 of them.
What's the number 3 there, Eversource? 6312, the 3 left for the
6311, 6307, and 6312.
Right, but it's 63, it's all one thing.
Yeah, you remember the broadcast, the driveway?
Yep.
They're gonna remove the pole.
Yeah.
That's one.
Right.
The other one was on St. James Avenue. They don't show up. That was the last one we have.
That's
Before they
6312 is St. James Avenue.
In Canterbury, we've been there a few times,
We were there too.
you know?
All right, we'll still have to address them in some date in the future.
It looks like they already changed the pole, right?
I don't know.
All right, any further matters? We just take a vote to continue the matters now to July 8th.
July 8th.
Yep, everyone in favor?
Bye.
Yes.
All right, so, all
Well, you gotta have a roll call.
right. Mike? Mike, you in favor of continuing the matter to July 8th? Yes, sir. Buddy?
Yes, I am.
I am also.
Very good.
Unanimous decision.
Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, goodbye.
I'll second it.